Hey Daryl, happy Black Friday. Just about to go out and hit some of those wonderful sales, especially at Petco and PetSmart. Uh, hadn't really done a close-up video of the Goldei Dekai rainbows, very super rare fish that I got from Lucas Brett's, and they were $60 per fish. And they're beginning to get a little bit of color and a little bit of size on them. It'll be months and months till they're as large as those that he kept in the tank behind him, but these are far from those. And here we go. And they're starting to look like little rainbows. Great eaters. And I have them in this tank with a whole bunch of Siamese algae eaters, and I have this huge whatever kind of plant, I always forget the name, Anubias, and it was covered with black algae. I mean, just literally covered with it growing all over it. And I put it in there last night. You can still see some remnants on that top leaf, but it was covered worse than that on every leaf. And those Siamese algae eaters have cleaned it off completely. Hey, Mr. Beast. Just giving a little quick update on these Goldei Dekai, much awaited from Lucas. I was doing some, not really aquascaping, but some moving around in here yesterday, so I still have not put things back where I want them. One of the sponge filters being one of the things there. But what I was doing was looking for some the plecos that are in here, the gold nugget, and you can see one of them in the background there. On the back you can see the little yellow dots, and so I did find them both, but I had to do some moving around to them, and I really don't want them to be able to hide that well, so thus the moving around. As I said, still have some things to put back and move, in that tube and that sponge filter would be some of that. What I used to cycle this tank with, besides the Siamese algae eaters, were some small... No, you're not late. It's just the same thing, just doing a little update on these little rainbows here that are starting to color up and get big enough to actually see on camera. There are 11 of them in here, and they're super rare, Goldei Dekais, and they're from Lucas. So I've had them maybe a month, I don't know, 6 weeks. But I was going to say that I cycled this tank waiting for them with the Siamese algae eaters, and also with some Tapajos, some redhead geophagus, and it looks like that they're actually going to be a pair. It looks like a male and a female, and they're starting to get some spangles and color on them, and starting to grow. I have a lot of them, several of them in another 55, but yeah, thanks Arachnid. And that reminds me, guys, I need, sorry for the shakiness, but I'm sitting in the floor, and that's what's going on. I need 2 more subs to hit 200, and you know, I kind of been stuck in the 190s for over a week, it seems like, and just slowly getting there. I know I will eventually, but I've only been doing videos for maybe 3 months, and started out filming my tub video, and then got a little more confidence and kind of not caring, and encouragement and support as well, and started doing videos of some of my tanks, of which there are 18 now, so haven't made a video in several days, so I thought I'd just jump on here and do a quick update on these guys. I've only had them on camera once. If I could reach their tank, there we go, sorry. I put in just a little bit of that Sarah treat mix, which is actually flake. Trying to get it up there, whoa. And they like that. These are the fish, of course, that Lucas feeds the tetra granules, color granules, and I have a bunch of that stuff. Wow. I know I'm sub to you, Arachnid, so I'll hopefully we can get some more people over there because you have some great content, and get you to 200 a little quicker than that. So if you guys haven't checked out his channel, it's great. Hey Haley, doing great, doing the usual rambling and just getting on here and musing about the fish and giving an update on the little guys from Lucas. You can see there that they're starting to get a little bit of size on them and a little color. They love teasing those Siamese algae eaters, about a dozen or 15 in there. And I was just saying I need 2 more subs to get to 200. So hopefully it'll happen this weekend. That would be great, but if not, you know, it took me this summer to get to 200, and that was pretty fast, so I'm really pleased with that. Yeah, they do. They look great. Got a little thing of Sarah flake food open here that I just put a pinch in there, and my beagle's trying to get into it, so that's why you see the camera jerking when I push him away. Goes creeping by, too dark to see him. It's also another young and very new to YouTube. I noticed today, I'm sub to him, that he put up his second video. The first one he didn't talk in. Today he put up a second one, and he gave a good narrative of his 55-gallon tank. He's got some nice fish in there. Plecos and Cories, he keeps angels, a little bit of everything, some tetras. But if you guys are looking for a new channel to check out, it's called Trinity's Tanks, TRINITY''S Tanks. He's a great guy, and he lives here locally, actually, in the town that I live in Tennessee. Just a great guy. He and his girlfriend, Angelina, and so if you're looking to help somebody out, you know, with the sub, I think he's at 7 now. He's only been on about a week, so give him some love too. So what's everybody doing today on Black Friday? I'm gonna go spend some money at the pet shops or get in on some of those sales. I'm gonna go check things out. There's like 50% off some things, and fish food is fish food, you know, and it lasts for a while, so. This is a 40 breeder, by the way, and I'm actually hoping to breed out some gold nugget plecos, and that's why I wanted to be sure that they were still doing okay. Thanks, Mr. Bees. Awesome, Haley. Let us know how that BAP goes. I mean, I know Jeremy's real involved in it. Hey, Nature Nerd. What did you say there? That's linked. My comments, I don't know how to keep them up. I just see each person. That's awesome. That's awesome, Nature Nerd. That's awesome. I mean, it just takes time, you know, and you have to put some content out and stay engaged and that kind of thing. And of course, with holidays, it's not as easy to do. So people that are posting, I really admire that. Awesome, Haley. Oh, thank you. The link didn't come up, or I missed it. I appreciate Appreciate that, Mr. Beast. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Sherry. Appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. This is my newest tank, I believe, besides my breeding rack, 10 gallons I put up. Yeah, this was for the Goldei Dekai, and they're starting to get a little size on them, enough to see a little color on them and so forth. So, whoops. Trying to focus in there. Of course, I'm just on a cell phone. Does anybody use a camera other than their phone? I've really been giving some thought to getting one, but you hear so much, don't get one and don't get this, don't get that. So the more I look, the more confusing it gets. So I've just held off. Well, I'm glad you asked. That's just a sword that came from my local fish store and was real small, and I've got it in the substrate, but I have the pots in most of my tanks except the big cichlid tanks, of course, because they eat them right up. This is a bulb. I forget the name of the plant. I'm sure somebody else knows it and can tell us, but this came from Aquarium Co-op, and I've got 3 of those bulbs. This one's doing the best. The 2 are in 2 other tanks. There's some, that's what I'm thinking, Mr. Bees, and at this point I'm really not that concerned about growing. I mean, I like to, and I like to interact with more people and be sub to more people and that kind of thing, but I don't ever see myself having 100,000 subs and all that and doing content every, couple of days. I just don't see that, but you never know what the future holds. So yeah, I thought about that too. I've thought about that too, and that may be a good compromise. Thank you. But back to your question, Haley, what I do is put in there, yeah, it depends on what the plico is. You're right. It depends on which it is, and all I have in here, you can see through the Anubias back there, some yellow dots, or a couple of gold nuggets, a big one and a small one that I think are a pair. And then I do have some bristle noses in here, which were actually born in another tank and moved over here to grow out. So got tons of bristle noses. But they don't bother these plants. I feed them some good algae wafers and that kind of thing, and so I guess they get enough plant matter that they don't. I was saying earlier, see the Siamese algae eaters, yeah, it's the sword. The one I was worried about was the bulb there. There aren't any albinos in here, but I do have them in several other tanks, and they have not bothered the plants at all. I have, as I said, a couple of these in other plants and in other tanks, and I've got other plants. I've got whatever that is. Today's not a good day for memory. Hey Brandon, welcome. Just rambling, nothing special, no topic, just kind of looking at some of these little Goldei Dekai rainbows that got from Lucas. They're 11 and they're starting to get some color on them, and of course they're still tiny. They're about the size now of I'll say a zebra danio or something. Oh, let me answer your question, Haley. I'm sorry. I'll get right to it if you've got another second. I love the pots. It has just potting soil, a good generic potting soil with no additives or anything, just good healthy soil, and then topped off with gravel. The only thing that happens sometimes, if you lift them up, the potting soil will come out the bottom, because I like having the hole in the bottom so the easy green can get under and around and through the pot. So I'm still working on that, how to keep that from pulling out, but it's not an issue. The next time you vacuum or do a water change, you can just suck it right out. So but yeah, I love them. So get the 3-inch as they take up a lot of room if you get anything bigger than that. So I don't know if we can see it, but right above there I've got all the glare, like a 6-inch, and that's Tetra Tank primarily. But that one's got a big Anubias and a big octopus in it, and actually some cuttings that I sent you, Haley, came off that. So have a good dinner with your family, and you guys be safe. Hey, Purple Game, appreciate it. Appreciate it. So are you off today, Haley? Did Lucas give you off? I appreciate you, Mr. Bees and Daryl. As you guys know, you only see the comment for a minute and it pops up, and I'm having enough trouble just keeping it trained on there to keep them up all the time, the comments. So I appreciate you helping me talk with people there very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. You see, I need help. So. Nah, I'm teasing. Yeah, it kind of bothers me to go in a room and it not even be that crowded, and to speak to the room owner and to speak to people, and you know, I don't always expect it, but it's just nice to, you know, it's like going to someone's house, you know, you expect them to say hello, come in, welcome, that kind of thing, and thanks for being here. So, but not everybody sees it that way. It's not actually going to their house, so. And thanks again for sharing that link to Trinity's tanks. Very true, very true. And I've noticed that some people you actually get a little closer to and are more familiar with, and it kind of surprises me sometimes when people say, "Hey, Bob," you know, or Bob's, you know, fish hobby, or you know, and I might not have seen that person for a couple of weeks. It's really nice. The Fish Fam is really a nice group with, you know, with a common goal and a common hobby. So. There's my biggest Siamese algae eater. They all seem to want to follow that guy around, so I don't know if that's maybe a big female or a big male. It's obviously one, isn't it? But they seem to like to follow that one and hang out with that one. All right. Well, this will give people something to look at that are, yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it does me. I just don't do that. I like to cut up with people and tease and that kind of thing. I love that. Yeah. Devin, that's what I was just trying to remember, and welcome. There's a sword plant there on the left, and on the right there's an Anubias, and then there's the ever, I have that in every tank. It's like duckweed. It's the water sprite. These are not Chinese algae eaters, and I've never kept them. I've not heard much positive stuff about them. These are actually Siamese algae eaters, and these guys are great. I was just telling people earlier that that plant was covered with black algae, and they've cleaned it off overnight. Oh, sorry. The dog finally got my fish food I had sitting in the floor, so I have to get up and shake things around. Of course, it's a new container that I just got from Aquarium Co-op, so probably make him sick, but he ate half of it. But Devin, I don't know what the plant in the middle was. That's a plant that I got as a bulb from actually Aquarium Co-op. I do. I think I got it started from my local fish store, because they have it in every tank there, literally. And, you know, if you get any gravel or anything at all, Oh, hi, not Nola Jane. I guess you spoke when I got up. See, sorry. Um, I don't have any problems with it. I've got it pretty much under control, and some tanks have none at all. This tank is a little lower light because it's one of the old um, kits. It's a 29-gallon kit, and it has the fluorescent lights on it. Plus, it has a lot of water sprite and duckweed because they're yeah, that's the way mine do, Sherry. They follow around, and I should have set the food up after I just sprinkled a little bit in for those fish to get them uh, interested and moving around. And they've already been fed this morning, of course. But anyway, that's what the top of this looks like. And there are several kinds of fry in here. This tank's primarily a live bear tank. I'm not sure if I've ever, yeah, I guess I have photographed this tank a couple of times. I recently added some Cynodontis. There's one of them. I got three. I got three my fish store had, and I forget which one this is, but it's the kind that maxes out at 4 inches. So it'll be fine in here for a long time. There will be. So, but this is primarily odds and ends and live bears, and we've got some Cares fish in here. There's a goodie there that's from Andrew Workowski. Actually, both of those are from Andrew. There's several in there. I think I got 7 or 8 from him. And I've got some Limias. Those are from Dan. There in front. I always end up with more males than females. What else is in here? I like swordtails, as you can see. There actually are some Plecostomus in here. I think there are 3. There's one of them, and I've done like Alexander Williamson. I've gone ahead and put some little, well, they got away from me, some little pea puffers in here. There are 3 of those in here, and they're really, really tiny. They couldn't be more than a couple weeks old, and they've done great. Had them maybe 3 or 4 days in here. Yeah, some of my tanks are nice and peaceful, and then I have tanks that have cichlids. I just started my first. Hey Brian, welcome. Just started my first African cichlid tank, and I've got 6 little rock crebensis in there, and so far I like them. They're not aggressive. They get along pretty well, and I've just got some Plecostomus with them too. Thank you. Yeah, just need 2 more, and I've begged everybody that knows me. It's already. Oh, there's a little flagfish. I forgot I had that guy in there. He was the last one left at the local fish store, so I thought he needed to. They weren't going to get any more, so he's done great in here. Getting some glare. Let's see, I have guppies in here from Michael's fish room, and I'm getting some new things from him too next week, and they'll most likely be in this tank. But yeah, some nice guppies that came from him. And then there's some green Russians in here that there they go across the back, that actually my local fish store had at a great price. So, and I rescued this guy. I wasn't going to show him, but I've still got him in his little cup up there that he was in at Walmart, and he was almost dead. I'm not kidding. He's red and blue, crown tail male, of course, but I've changed his water in here a couple times a day and feed him when I feed these guys. And I'm considering letting him out. The swordtails were a little picky with the guppies at first, but they leave them alone now. Wish I knew what you guys were talking about. You just answered Sherry. I'm nosy. Do I have any? I don't, Devin. I don't. All of my cichlids have, I'm going to give y'all whiplash here, sorry. That's my rainbow tank that I've made way too many videos of already, so. Let's see, this is driftwood that I've literally been trying to get to sink for 3 months, and it still won't waterlog. See you later. Thanks, Mr. Dees. Anyway, here's some Severum in here, which, you know, are South American cichlids. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, every now and then I drop some bloodworms or something, yep, exactly. And this floor is linoleum, so they get it right up. I never even know I've dropped anything. But yeah, this is a mated pair, and they're just big babies. Sorry for all that glare, didn't mean to be up here. But yeah, they're really babies. They're really nice fish, and people laugh at me for, you know, for saying they're sweet fish, they're nice fish, but these guys really are. Yeah, I got them as little bitty things. They're both bigger than my hand now. I can't get it, but yeah, they're both big fish and fat fish. You can see they're healthy. Yeah, these two are just gold. And those are the filament barbs that I sent Jeremy one, and he sent me back a couple of fry. I lost one of them, but the other one's growing out in the rainbow tank over there. They are, yeah. I feed, careful not to overfeed, but I feed a variety, and I feed twice a day, and I take my time. Right now I'm taking about an hour to feed the 18 tanks because I really like to look at the fish when they come out to make sure everybody's okay. And there are actually some big hoplocats in here. There we go. That's one of my new ones, one of the babies, I'm calling them. I've got 2 of those from tilapiastore.com. I have some red shoulders too, Sherry. I've got a pair. They're bickering right now, and usually when they're doing that, they're getting ready to spawn. And then I've got 2 juveniles. I was looking for the big hoplo. This water was changed yesterday, and it still hasn't cleared. I mean, I had a big water change. It was up to 1. Started about 9, I think. There's some salt and pepper cories in here, but I don't see the big guy. But he's in there. I've got a big male, and that's why I got these 2 little ones, and I think they're going to both be females. They're about they're a good 5 inches now. So sorry for that lighting. I've got it backlit for them on purpose so that it's kind of dark at the front. But I was coming to show you the Severums over here, the South Americans, and good Lord, I've been rambling for 30 minutes almost. But yeah, these are some geos. I love geophagus, and then some Severums, and got the rhino plecos that everybody knows about. These are not the ones that I filmed before, but there are 2 in here, a male and a female. They're over there hiding. There's one on the front, and that's actually one of the red spotted Severums. Yeah, she's a gorgeous fish, and she didn't get along with other Severums for a long time, and I kept her in a Tetra tank. And so she finally buddied up with that great big green one. Oh, they're actually acting like they're about to spawn. And they always eat them after a few days, but I've got a couple of big aqua clears on the back of here. I think a 70 and a 110, and then a couple of big sponges, and then a big not a wave maker, but whatever that's called. Gives a lot of flow. So, and this is a 55. Yeah, my very first video that I posted when I started posting on YouTube, yeah, they are getting ready to spawn because they're keeping everybody. I wondered why everybody was over on the left, except the plecos. There's not much they can do with them. They're so big. I've got some little bitty, not little bitty, but some nice cories down there. I don't remember the name of them and can't see them that well. The lighting's awful here too. She's the very first video. When I added her to this tank, I decided that she really was just going to have to tough it out and get along with Severums, and that's what Jeremy advised me to do. You know, he's kind of a Severum expert, and he said it's probably a lot bigger deal to me that their fins are getting torn and all that, and so I did, and I toughed it out, and she just didn't want anything to do with them. She wasn't trying to kill them, but she finally buddied up with this big male here. He's a green. And so that's how she fits in here now. She's kind of the queen of the tank, and he's the only fish bigger than her. So I think probably of all the fish I have, if I have just one fish, yep, he is. He really is. Again, well fed. Yeah, they're getting ready to spawn. See, they're making everybody stay on this end. So what I'll do is move these rocks and driftwood over a little bit so that they only have a quarter or a third of this tank. So these guys really have room to spread out a little more. Here he comes again. I hadn't noticed him cleaning a rock or anything at all. And like I say, water change was last night, so that's probably what's caused this. Ooh, they do have eggs even, I think. Yep, we have eggs. Get all those eggs. And the little catfish are on there, but they don't seem to mind. Awesome, awesome. I'm not getting any notifications on here, obviously, so thank you guys. Well, now I guess I'll hope for 202 over the weekend. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. Awesome, awesome job, thank you. I was going to say, those geos up there, thank you, Daryl. Awesome job, you guys. Awesome job. Good job. I would have struggled another week with that. I'd ask everybody I knew. So see, networking really works. Those Jurapari up there, I've got 4 of those guys. I eventually want to have them their own tank. And I like to breed them, but the spangles on them, with all the glare, you can't see anything, but they're just an amazing fish. And they've got the true geophagus, big old mouth for scooping up stuff. They went the 4th one. And those guys are, they're 6 inches. One of them's maybe 7. And there's a little rainbow sick that's got a torn fin, and I bet that's probably from the Severum spawning over there. I'm actually starting to sell some of my, I'm going to take some of the fry from these. I've got 75 or 80 easy, and I've got them on the Get Gill store. The rainbow cichlid, there's one on the right and one on the left there. But one of my local fish stores asked me to bring some in, and I'm just going to give them to them, and if they like them or if they want more, you know, then sell some to them. But I really need to get those fish a home. They're almost as big as these parents. That's awesome. I got 200. This little fish up here is a keyhole cichlid, and it looks at a glance. Tell me what you guys think. She has ick, but she doesn't. And look at her fins, look at her back, look how emaciated she is. That's a female, and then there's a male in there that's fine. All the other fish are fine. I've quarantined her. I've done all the usual routine things, general cure, erythromycin, all of that stuff. She eats, but she has the white spots on her. She is emaciated. Her fins stay torn up, but she swims right in with these big fish. I've thought about putting her in another tank, but I don't want to do that if she has something contagious. But I haven't been able to anything to treat her. I probably need to ask Dan to look at that. He's really good with medications, and everybody wants to be on camera now. They actually want to eat. It's been, what, 2 hours, 3 hours, so they're ready. There's some blackbeard algae in there. I need to put that over there with the Siamese algae eaters, that plastic plant, and they'll pick it right off. Devin, for me, I see lots of opinions about that, but usually when mine are about 4, 5, no younger than 4, definitely by 6 months, the guys are getting their bristles. They're bigger than the females, of course. The females are usually wider bodied, so looking down from the top, that trick helps. And the males are more territorial by that time. They're staking out a territory, and they want a little terracotta watering whatever cone to, have as a little house, that kind of stuff. So as early as 4 months, but usually closer to 5 or 5.5. I've had fry from them at 5 months, thinking that, oh, that's cute. They set up house, and then I'd see fry all of a sudden. So, but other people say later. So there's a lot of. Get another shot of that poor thing. I really wish I could help her. And she looks pretty good right now. Sometimes she looks worse than that. But she eats great. She loves frozen food. She loves blackworms. I don't know. And again, I really appreciate you guys helping me recognize people and greet people and thank them for coming. That really, really makes for a much nicer, pleasant stream. I'm sitting on my bed, so yes, I like to take a nap sometimes. Hey, Reels Tanks, welcome. These guys helped me get to 200 subs in the last half hour here. I only needed 2 more, and they found them, and I got them, so that's awesome. Did a great job, really helped me out today. Thanks, Reels. I appreciate it. You get stuck. You set these landmarks or these goals, which is good, and then it seems like you get stuck. It's like waiting for Christmas to get here or something. And I'd been stuck in the 190s for over a week. So I have to set a new goal. Yes, this white sand, it's coarse sand, so it's pretty easy to vacuum if you stay away from it. Was vacuumed last night, late last night, so you see how big these plecos are, so they get right back to it, as Rachel O'Leary says, with their Lincoln logs. They poop Lincoln logs. That's the small male. He's just 9 inches, I think. Yeah, that's the small male. The other male that I've filmed before is in another tank, and he's a little bit bigger. The biggest one's a female, and she's somewhere in here. Got her at a local swap and shop or whatever. There she is, stuck to the back. I paid $35 for her, but I thought that was a great price. Oh, that poor little keel cichlid. Yeah. Guys' fins are a little torn up from these. These guys are about to spawn or have spawned. I think they have eggs down there. So they've got everybody, I was saying earlier, pushed to the the 1/3 of this end. So I'm going to move some of this stuff over when I get off here. Just reach in and move it over so that they don't have all of that space. I'm going to take that down some so that these guys have more room. They don't have to stay so bunched up. It's coming over and getting after them, even though they're staying away from that side. All right, this has been going over 40 minutes. Wow. Proving once again that if someone comes in and talks to me, and that I'll ramble on way too long. So again, thank you guys for stopping in, and thank you for hanging out. Thank you for getting me to 200 subs. That's awesome, amazing. I just can't believe that you could do that in one live stream. So thank you very much. And again, thanks for the help with greeting people and answering questions, and thanking for people being here. Thank you, Sherry. Appreciate it. All right, guys, have a great Black Friday. Thank you. Thanks, Daryl. Thanks, Reels.